Hello, friends and supporters of Little Falls Community Schools. Steve Jones, Superintendent of Little Falls Community Schools, with you tonight to share some news that, quite frankly, I really don't want to share with you, but we need to. Tonight at the school board meeting, the Little Falls Community Schools Board of Education passed upon my recommendation, effective October 26th, that Little Falls Community Schools from preschool through grade 12 will enter into distance learning. There is no timeline associated with this. In other words, no end date at this point as we enter into distance learning as a district on Monday, October 26th. Why, you ask? Well, there's a number of valid reasons as far as I'm concerned as to why that needs to be done, and I want to share those with you so you get an understanding of my thinking leading us up to this decision supported by the school board. First, Morrison County Public Health has reported a case rate today, October 19th, of 75.8 per 10,000 residents in Morrison County. This represents a doubling of case rate numbers since October 9th. That's a pretty marked increase in cases in Morrison County. Secondly, it is public health's opinion that this number will continue to escalate, especially because not all of the antigen testing, that's the rapid tests, all of those have not been entered into the systems, either in Morrison County or at the Minnesota Department of Health. Third reason, Minnesota Department of Health, their 14-day case rate for Morrison County as of Thursday, October 15th, stood at 43.10. Understand that MDH's numbers generally are about 10 to 14 days behind Morrison County Public Health. And so it is expected that MDH's numbers for Morrison County and, quite frankly, all of central Minnesota will dramatically increase over the next 2 to 4 reporting periods. We have a continuing concern with staffing, maintaining adequate staffing in our buildings. Fifth, a rapidly increasing amount of students, especially at the middle school and high school here at Little Falls Community Schools, are choosing to go full-time distance learning. Ostensibly, that's because of the increased numbers of cases in the county as students and families are electing to go full-time distance learning. Our sixth reason, the challenge of justifying our current learning plan models despite metrics developed by the Minnesota Department of Health and the Minnesota Department of Education, which are tied to positive case rates. And that's that chart that we've all become familiar with that really demonstrates when a district should, based off the numbers of case rates, transition from in-person to hybrid to distance learning. Over the weekend and over really the last 2 weeks, a number of folks in the community have contacted me to wonder why we haven't done something additionally based off the numbers that we have in our county right now. And this is the information that I'm talking about here. We're having a harder and harder time justifying staying in our learning plan as the case rates in the county continue to escalate. Our seventh point of rationale is a doubling over the past 5 days of school-age children in Morrison County who have reported positive cases of COVID. Eighth, a recent increase in positive test results among students and staff right here in Morrison County, at Little Falls Community Schools. Just over the past 5 days, we've seen a pretty substantial increase in case numbers. And ninth, I'm really having a hard time thinking about a potential outbreak in one of our buildings and being able to defend it while the case rate numbers in our county continue to go sky high. And those 9 reasons really encapsulate why I went to the Board of Education tonight and asked them to make that change towards distance learning effective Monday, October 26th. We understand there's a lot of questions, a lot of concerns. Please know that I also know that by making this transition, this has upset the world of some folks. I get that. I hope in my time as your superintendent here at Little Falls Community Schools over the last 9 years, you've gotten to understand a bit of who I am and what I stand for. And I think that I've always brought forth the empathy and care and concern for the safety and well-being of our children. And we want our kids in school. We really do. But right now, with what we're facing in Morrison County, what we're facing in Little Falls and our surrounding communities, based off the 9 pieces of information I just shared with you, I'm really struggling to understand that with the COVID outbreak happening in rural areas in Minnesota and the upper Midwest the way it is, how staying in school is the best choice for us at this point. So what and how do we go from here? Well, we have some things we want to share with you over the next couple of days. So this video is not the only piece of information you're going to get from us over the next few days. Look for, beginning right away tomorrow, information coming from your school and from the district concerning food service. So we know that there is food insecurity in our area. We want to continue to be able to provide breakfasts and lunches for our kids at no charge. And so we have folks working on that program right now, trying to figure out the best way to do this. We will be in touch with you, or don't hesitate to contact us with your questions as well. Childcare for our Tier 1 workers. That again is a mandate by the governor that should we go distance learning, we are responsible for childcare again. Through Community Services and Kids Corner, that's being worked on right now. More information coming tomorrow on that. As I said a few minutes ago, this does involve preschool as well. Preschool will go distance learning. Contact Stacy Gold, or her staff will contact you with about your child in preschool program as to how we move forward from there beginning October 26th. We know from survey and information that we've gleaned from families in the past that internet reliability is a huge issue in our district. We have purchased a number of hotspots that we want to share out with some folks who may be impacted by poor internet once we do go to distance learning. I ask you to contact the Tech Help Desk at 632-2020 or email me and I'll get you in touch with who needs to connect with you to make this happen for you, a district-provided hotspot for you to help with that. All technology needs, whether it's your iPad isn't functioning properly or you're having issues at home, the Tech Help Desk at 632-2020 is certainly an outlet for you. Or again, email me and I'll get you to the right spot. Lastly, activities, and we understand the severity of this, but as our numbers cross that threshold of 50, from Minnesota Department of Health. And as we said, they're at 75 here in the county. So that 50 threshold of Minnesota Department of Health is going to happen sooner or later in the next week or two. That obviously impacts our athletic program and our extracurricular activities. Again, look for announcements from our activities department pertaining to our activities, either contests or practice over the next few days. Again, this is an announcement I was hoping I would not have to make, and it grieves me to do so. Here we stand on Monday night, October 19th. We're starting our 7th week of school. We will have completed 7 weeks of school. And back in March, April, and May, we would have done anything to get kids back in school. We've been blessed for these 7 weeks. We wanted it to be longer, but right now we need to take a break. We need to go into distance learning effective October 26th, and hopefully, keeping our fingers crossed, those numbers soon begin to plummet in the county and we can get our kids back in school every single day. Reach out, let me know how you're feeling, what your thoughts are, what your concerns are, 632-2001, or my email address at sjones@lfalls.k12.mn.us. Thanks for your continued support of Little Falls Community Schools. Good evening.